Come up to another of my local viewpoints this morning. It's up on Dartmoor, just in the background there. You can see Leather Tour. I'm up on Sharper Tour. I've come out with the 5.4 today, shooting a bit of film. It's very windy at the moment, which isn't a good one, especially when you're shooting with a large format camera. It can be quite a bit of a problem. So I'm trying to find a spot where, one, it's a little bit sheltered, and obviously two, I can get a good composition. I'm using my my phone again as a compositional aid, my viewfinder app. I've got plenty of time still. The sun's way off rising yet, so I've got plenty of time. So I'm just going to have a little wander around and try and find a good spot and get set up, hopefully, like I say, out of the wind. Well, I found this little stunted tree amongst the rocks here. It's fairly sheltered, not as bad as it is at the top for the wind. I'll show you the app that I'm using at the moment, which is very, very handy for actually finding your composition before you set up. I'm finding it invaluable for shooting 5.4 because it's obviously quite a process setting the camera up and shifting it around and focusing it. So this app is very handy. Okay, so the app allows you to sort of frame the image. I've got a crop around the outside there for 150mm lens, a 210, 250, goes out to 90mm as well. You can see it kind of blocks out the outer perimeter of the image, so you can kind of get your rough composition with this. I mean, it's by no means like exact, but it helps me kind of compose the shot. It has got sort of exposure functions which I don't use, but very useful. It's got a film, almost like a simulation mode. So at the moment I've got it on Ilford Delta100, so it kind of gives me an idea what the shot's going to look like or what it should look like. So yeah, it's very, very handy. One issue I always find with shooting film is obviously whatever's in the scene, you can't do much about it. I do intend to all the film that I shoot is going to be scanned, so there is a possibility to play around with the images in Photoshop, just to try and sort of clean things up. But one thing that I find that's really annoying, especially in the UK when I'm shooting, is see in the distance here, up in the sky, vapor trails. There must be, I would say, about 6 or 7 planes gone over in the space of the last hour I've been here. Obviously on a day like today, it kind of leaves these vapor trails in the sky. This particular composition I've got here this morning, the first one, I'm not too worried at the moment because I've kind of cropped out the sky. There's not a lot going on in the sky, so I've got some nice sort of layers in the background here, just behind the tour. So the sky sort of ends at the top of the tour there, so it's not too bad. I'm going to shoot with Ilford Delta100 first this morning. I'm also going to use a red filter just to boost up the contrast, give those sort of layers in the background there a bit more oomph. But yeah, the sun's just coming up now, so I'm going to wait for it to rise a little bit higher. It's very foggy on the horizon there where the sun's coming up, so I need to wait till it clears that, really, ideally. Welcome to the world of large format. This is what I'm seeing underneath the dark cloth. You can see the image is upside down and it's back to front, so as you move the camera around, it kind of goes the opposite way. Takes a bit of getting used to, but I think once you're under the dark cloth, it's good. It cuts out the outside world, if you like, and it helps you concentrate on the composition. I find it a lot better way to compose a shot. It's much more attuned to focus in this way, I think, to get the composition right. I've got basically 2 sheets of Velvia50 and 2 sheets of Ilford Delta100. Film's all loaded up, it's all marked up on the top, so I'm ready to go. Okay, so I've added a red filter. I've taken my meter reading. My meter reading for ISO 100 is 1/4 of a second. Now I need to allow 3 stops for the red filter. So that brings me down from 1/4 to 1/2 to 1 to 2 seconds. So that's the first frame at 2 seconds. Straight away you can see the difference in the exposure times there. This one is a little bit too washed out. It's not bad, but it's losing detail in this area. The backs of the tree there with the moss. So yeah, I can discount that one for now. This one's much better. Whole range of tones there. There's still some detail there. Focusing wise, it's fine. So yeah, this isn't bad. There's a few annoying little scratches on this film. I'm not sure whether that's me or it's unlikely to be the lab, but I can't remember having any issues with this film, but time will tell. I'll definitely have to check my film holders. Alright, that's another 2 frames. That's Velvia this time. Same scene, but I've shot 2 frames of Velvia just to have the comparison with black and white, and obviously the colour as well. There's just some lovely sort of soft light across here. I've used for the Velvia shot, I've used a grad on just over the section of the sky, and a polarizer just to boost the contrast in the foreground, and obviously the rocks there in the distance. Velvia. You've got to love this film. I haven't used this stuff for, let's say, so many years, but this is why I bought a box. Just these colours, the tones that you get from it. Believe it or not, this box was 10 years old. I didn't think it would come out, but pretty pleased with these results from this stock. these two here, you can see both are quite usable. But the darker one is it's a little bit too dark in the shadow areas there. Although there is detail there, it's not too bad. But I'm going to go with the lighter one. So I used the grad on the sky in this one, and a polarizer. Grad, just literally a soft grad down to here. Sharpness wise, you can see that there. It's pretty, yeah, it's pretty sharp all the way through, right up to the distant tour there. It's pretty good. So yeah, very happy with that. Say I love this film. It's I kind of cut my photographic teeth on this stuff. Very sort of slim exposure latitude with it, but it certainly makes you think more about exposure. But yeah, this is a good shot. Well, despite the wind, it's been good to get out with this one again. This camera is certainly testing my my photographic knowledge. But yes, it's great. It's good fun. So I hope you've enjoyed this one. I shall pack up now, head back, and hopefully see you on the next one.